Hello, beautiful soul family. It's Breanne here. Thank you for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I wanted to talk about a topic today in regards to actually a dream that I had last night. And I'm going to be pulling the tarot and we'll look into the crystal ball as well. And this is pertaining to the megalithic stones of Costa Rica. Now, I came across an article a while back pertaining to this specific topic, and I didn't kind of look too much into it, but it was kind of interesting because last night I had this dream where I was there, and there was these beautiful, like, sphere large stones. There are different sizes, but I was there and they were kind of in my dream. I'm gonna pull the tarot and see what we can get as well, and we'll check the crystal ball. But in my dream, these were placed in very strategic spots, and they were kind of used as like doorways and portals. And when I was within these stone spheres, I was able to travel through different dimensions, through time. And it was a very interesting experience. So it was kind of something that sparked my interest on doing a video today. Now, to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, whoever's not familiar with these megalithic stone spheres in Costa Rica, I mean, I've heard they've actually been, shown or they popped up all around the world, but I'm going to specifically focus today on Costa Rica. But these stone spheres, there is many different myths and ideas of like what these resemble, what they're there for, what's their purpose. And I know scientists aren't even able to accurately date these stones. It's believed they're from a time period between 200 and 1500. And they have a really impressive shape. They're described to be like 96% perfect in terms of their spherical shape. Now, because their shape has such a smooth spherical finishing to it, it's believed that the ancient culture used a method of using like extreme heat, cooling, and then polishing to achieve their shape and their finish as well. These stones also vary in size. So you have some that are quite large that weigh more than 15 tons. And then you have some that are quite a bit smaller, like maybe the size of a basketball. So there wasn't just like one size fits all. There was multiple different sizes and shapes. Sorry, not shapes. They were all spherical, but all different kinds of sizes when it came to these stones in Costa Rica. So one of the questions is like, why were the stones created? And there is some speculation in terms of they were created for certain religious ceremonies. It could be symbols of burial plots or tribunal ranks as well. And I will say, with some of them as well, they've even found certain astrological like markings within these spheres. So they could indicate certain astrological placements as well, kind of like a calendar or like a map. There's also myths pertaining to these megalithic spheres that there's ancient gods that shot the balls down from the heavens as a way to drive the enemies from the lands. So some believe that these spheres are filled with certain things like a gold or a treasure. But there's been like a bean of coffee or certain things within the center of some of the spheres that have been found as well. And they're very much labeled as being pointed to the Earth's magnetic north. So they've been accurately determined for this accuracy. So that's been a big question with the Earth magnetic north, and how are they able to determine such accuracy in this placement? And again, there's also some people that are believing that these are just man-made. So in terms of all that information, there's many different myths and sides to the story, and this is all based off of my perspective and the energy that I've got through my personal dreams and the tarot and the crystal ball. But back in the 1900s, I think 1930s it was, there was jungles being cleared by a fruit company that were cultivating bananas. Cultivating certain plantations for bananas. And these spheres were kind of, that's where they were found. So unfortunately, many of them were actually destroyed, but some of them have been moved, some of them have been, cracked open. So it's unfortunate that a lot of them have been uprooted from their actual locations. Um, So also most of them have been, or a lot of them have been destroyed before certain like historians stepped in and really paid notice to these and started to protect them, and kind of, let's say, kind of look into them a little bit and study them some more. Now, as I mentioned, a majority of them have been moved from their actual specific location. I believe over 100 are now in the Museum of Costa Rica as well. But there's many more in existence, even around the world, pertaining to these megalithic spheres, or monoliths, you can say. So if you are planning a trip to Costa Rica or you're in that area, I believe you're able to go and view these massive stones, these megalithic stones. So let's get into the tarot and also the crystal ball and see what information comes out. Pertaining to my dream, I did kind of go over that a little bit, but in my dream, I was placed in this jungle rainforest area where there was large monolithic stones just like the ones here, and they were used for myself in this dream. They were door portals and doors to go in and out of. Again, like I said, there wasn't, not all of them had carvings, but there were some of these megalithic stones that did have like carvings of constellations as well. So again, it's like a celestial map, we can say. And it's that energy, that portal that you can travel through. So I wanted to see if I got similar energy coming out of the crystal ball and also the tarot cards. I know one of the question is too, like, these are so big, it's not like you can just pick them up, and they didn't have machinery back in the day. So how were they moved? What's the purpose of them? But let's look into the crystal ball and see what we can find out today. So where these were actually located, I'm seeing that there are multiple different purposes or uses for these. Firstly, the first thing that's really coming through the ball is I'm seeing the ball itself, and it looks like, in terms of how they've been moved, from what I can perceive, it almost looks like some kind of ancient technology, like a levitation. I'm seeing rods. And these rods, they are able to levitate large items. And I believe those were used to move and place them in precise locations. I am seeing it as a great place of importance. I feel like lots of, I don't know if royalty is the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use. High level royalty has been kind of located around this area. It's kind of a site for, yes, I'm getting ceremonies, but I am getting burial plots as well. So it's interesting. I'm curious if the different sizes indicate their rankings as well in their community. I'm really getting like this place is really rich in spiritual energy. It's kind of a spiritual landmark, so to speak. And definitely I feel like it's also a portal as well. I feel like there's so many different purposes and meanings to this specific site of Costa Rica and where these megalithic spheres have been found. So some of the other things that are coming out here are kind of words, and I'm getting like temple beauty. I'm also getting though, um, I can't, I don't know if it's 900 or 19. Now, if we look at when these were kind of discovered, I believe it was around the 1930s. So that could link up and make sense there. Or it could resemble, these could have been kind of formed in the 900 BC. Um, but I'm just getting a very much like a sacred site. This is very sacred, very special, very spiritually aligned to like where these need to go. I don't feel like they're necessarily from extraterrestrials, but I feel like the civilization that did form these and place them did work hand in hand with certain extraterrestrial civilizations. They definitely feel like an advanced technology or knowledge of advanced technology, because these were also made of, I believe, like some kind of limestone, like a very hard, like granite rock. So not something easy to mold and shape. But when I see the word temple, and it feels like this place of beauty and almost worship. So just a very sacred place. So let's move into the tarot and see what information we can find here. All right, so let's ask the tarot in terms of these stone spheres in Costa Rica. Let's ask the question, who made them? Like, where are these stone spheres coming from? I really don't get that they are extraterrestrial. I feel like they're made by a certain tribe that has resided in that area, but let's ask the tarot and find out. Okay, so who made them and what was the purpose? What? Oh my goodness, look at this. You got a king and a queen right next to each other. That is incredible. And the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. I'm really excited to see this because it's a big confirmation. If we look at the king and the queen and the Ten of Pentacles, this is kind of a symbolism that this is kind of that feeling of royalty, like high ranking individuals kind of, I want to say, put these stones in very specific places. And it's for multiple things. That's what I was getting, because in my dream, it was interesting. It was this portal. It was used as a portal, but I'm also really strongly getting at it was some kind of a burial site, like where certain traditions, certain ceremonies really taken place. And I also seen that word temple in the crystal ball. And if we look at the Death card and the Seven of Cups, so this could be an area, like a landmark used for multiple different things, such as a burial, certain ceremonies, certain rituals. And on the bottom of the deck, you also have that moon card there as well. So it could be in certain alignment with the moon and other constellations here. I also feel like it is because when I was reading, it's interesting, a lot of people think that it was, or speculate it was a symbolism of ranking on how high up you are. And I do feel that on some level, it's a symbolism of strength. And I want to keep saying royalty here. I think this is just amazing that we've got the king and the queen right next to each other on that question, and the ten of Pentacles, that lineage, that status, right? So I'm curious, Spirit, can you confirm if these spheres in Costa Rica are also a portal? Interesting. We have the sun. That's a big yes. So That's also a big yes. So I'm really getting from the Seven of Cups, it was a sacred area of multiple things, such as certain portals that align to certain energies, including their star family here. And also, I'm really getting a burial site because we've got the death, and if you look at multiple different spheres as well, I believe they found over 300. I mean, I'm sure there's many more than that, but I think they found over 300. And again, many of them were moved, unfortunately, or people even use them as decorations in terms of thinking, in terms of status as well and ranking. But I do see that's originally what part of it was entailing as well, with this king and the queen and the Ten of Pentacles on the top here. So overall, that's quite interesting. Yeah, and look at, you got that star on the bottom as well. I think there was lots of help with their soul star family. So lots of confirmations there. I'm really excited to see the cards that came out for this reading. Let's pull another card and see if we can get any more information pertaining to these stone spheres of Costa Rica. All right, so we have Keepers of the Earth. How beautiful is that? So it says, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. All right, so let's look into that one a little bit more. Before I do, the bottom of the deck, this is another confirmation. This is the Sisterhood of the Rose, but underneath we have beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. And I was given the word beauty. That word came up when I was looking into the crystal ball. So it's beauty, it's a place of devotion. It's just a beautiful sacred space where I believe certain loved ones would come together. I believe as well they would hold certain rituals and ceremonies for most likely ones that have passed away. That's really awesome. I love that bottom of the card was another confirmation here. But if we look at the Keepers of the Earth, this card is really suggesting that this certain civilization or these people that created these stone spheres had a lot of assistance from their ancient ancestors, from their star family. They were kind of assisting them and guiding them on certain things, as like where to place them, where they need to go very specifically. Because I feel like their location was not just random, it was very specifically placed. And this is a confirmation that they had assistance, I feel like, with their ancestors or ancient ancestors here. The Keepers of the Earth are definitely standing beside these people throughout this sacred location or landmark that they've created. And yeah, look at that. The star family here, really beautiful. And confirmation. So I wanted to thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed that mini crystal ball and tarot dive into the spherical megalithic stones from Costa Rica. I'd love to know if any of you guys have actually been there and experienced them. Comment down below. I'd love to hear about your experience and the adventure there. On a side note, I just wanted to mention here, if anyone is interested in tarot readings or distance healings, please do go to my website, readingswithbreanne.com. I will not reach out to you trying to get a reading from you. So if you find anyone that is reaching out for you, that is not me. I just had somebody bring that to my attention. So if you guys are interested in any of my services, you must go to readingswithbreanne.com and book there. And sending you guys all lots of love and blessings on this journey wherever you are. And until next time, bye for now.